and pensions were getting higher. And people thought that with the pace of innovations, 100 years on, we won't have to work as much and still have a good life. And now, we're still on an 8-hour working day or more, and despite the pace of innovation getting quicker, we're not feeling extra freedom, are we? Where is our 4-hour-a-day, 3 days a week schedule? Will it ever come to reality?
Oh, will it ever come to reality? Who knows, right? That's some of the theories around the concept of robots and automation taking over our jobs. So there are some people who theorize that in the coming decade or two, we will see so much automation inside of our organizations that employees are not going to have anything to do, that they're going to need to find time to do things. And the time that they will have, they'll spend focusing on leisure projects, on things that they're passionate about. This is why we also hear about things like universal basic income, where if we have such a large percentage of the workforce that is displaced by technology, will we have some kind of universal basic guaranteed income that these people will be given because they are not working? So there are all sorts of really interesting conversations and discussions that we're starting to see around what this might mean.
So every time there is a technical breakthrough, people lose jobs. A report from Oxford University has estimated 47% of America's workforce is at risk of being fully automated. And in China, that number reaches 77%. Are machines really going to replace jobs? What will happen to people who are going to be left unemployed by smart machines?
Yeah, so there's so much you can say about this. So the first thing that we need to remember is that a job and a person are not the same thing. Automating a job is not the same thing as replacing a person. I'll give you an example. Accenture is a large, big global organization. They have hundreds of thousands of employees around the world. And they recently introduced technology that could automate a lot of the jobs that people in their finance department were doing. And I think it was like 1,000 or 10,000 jobs. It was a large number of people. But even though these jobs were automated, none of the humans lost their jobs, because instead these humans were given other projects to do where they can work and provide more insights on financial health to their clients. So automating a job and replacing a person are not the same thing. Take a doctor, for example. A doctor has many jobs. They read health transcripts, they diagnose patients, they have to look at scans. And so in that kind of a situation, something like IBM's Watson can help the doctor read a scan to help diagnose a patient. So that part of the job will be automated, but the doctor will still be there. So automating a job and replacing a person are not the same thing. So that's the first point I want to make. The second thing is that, yes, we will see, of course, displacement in the technology realm. One of the simplest areas that we're going to see this, of course, is in drivers. Look at how many people around the world make a living using something like Uber, being a professional limo driver. Once we get autonomous vehicles in there over a couple of years, a decade or so before they scale, we will see that kind of displacement start to happen. But we have to remember that it's more than just technology that causes this. So today, we do have something like an autonomous vehicle that is capable of driving itself. But how come they're not all over the place? How come they're not on all the roads in all the cities and all the countries all over the planet? And the reason is because it's more than just technology that's required for this kind of change to happen at scale. We have to think about societal issues. We have to think about legal and regulatory issues. We have to think about infrastructure. There's a lot that goes into play before these technologies are going to get to the point where we think they will get. But long answer to your question, yes, I think we will definitely see technology having a displacement on jobs. And this is why we need to focus a lot on education, on partnering with universities, and on things like universal basic income.
PricewaterhouseCoopers says over 40% of its analysis